What's going on, my people? What's going on, my family? And this is Isrock's movie reviews, and this is not going to be a typical review of any movie. I just want to take the time out and celebrate with you. If it's not because of you guys, I wouldn't be doing this, and I wouldn't be doing it at the rate that I'm doing it. So I just wanted to take the time and actually say thank you and appreciate you guys. I'm gonna give you a little background and a little story about me, and today was a special day. About a year ago, actually today, I ended up in the hospital. I was in pain for a couple of weeks. I found out to be my gallbladder was infected, it was enlarged, and I just couldn't take it anymore. I ended up calling my father. We ended up going to the hospital. Told me I needed surgery, and the very next day, as they went on to perform the surgery, within the first 5 minutes, disaster, man. My heart ended up stopping. I ended up bleeding a lot. I went under for about 5 to 10 minutes, and obviously I was unconscious at this time. I didn't know what was going on. But as I woke up later that day, pain with tubes in my stomach still and in my side, they told me what happened, and I was shocked, And I wasn't shocked at what happened. I was shocked that I was still here, So that gave me a lot of reason, a lot of thought within the next couple of months to tell myself, you know what, I'm meant to do more than what I'm doing. The reason I got sick was I was working 2 jobs for about the last 5 years, not getting much sleep, resting pretty much for maybe 2-3 hours a night, and then going right back to work and repeating, rinse, repeat. And, just to try to better my family, especially through the pandemic. I was the only one working at that time, and my wife was home with my children. And it was a tough time. Eventually, they did perform the surgery, and I'll show you the scar. Yeah. What happened to be something that was supposed to be a laparoscopic surgery, just 4 holes, ended up that, and I'm just fortunate that I had a good surgeon. He thought on his toes, and he went right in. They revived me. I'm here. And it took me about 2 months to heal. And about 3 months later, I said, you know what? I left one of my jobs, my highest paying job. And I was an assistant manager for a pharmacy, a big pharmacy, and I left it. And I ended up staying with one of my jobs, in which this is, I usually record from late at night. And thanks to the support of my wife, who, pretty much said, yeah, do what you gotta do. I believe in you. Fortunate to have a support system like that. Have a father who supported my decision also. And as you can see, it's called Isrock's Movie Reviews because of that. He used to be a DJ. He used to call himself Isrock. And, growing up, I was Izzy, Little Izzy. And his friends would call me Little Isrock. And just to pay homage to him and the man that he was and still is, after raising me pretty much, all the credit goes to him. So I just wanted to pay homage and said, if I ever did something big, I'm gonna make sure your name, his name, is ahead of it, So at the end of the day, after leaving that job, I decided to record my first video. And obviously, I learned little by little. As you can see, I still don't really put anything to my videos. I like to leave them raw because I feel as if I'm talking directly to you. And I met a lot of good people along the way. I've been documenting this journey. I remember my first video got like maybe 40 views. Thanks to a lot of friends out there. I want to thank, my father and my wife, 2 of her best friends, Ellie, Shanice. I want to thank my cousins, who I love dearly, Serge, Isaiah, my brother Joel, love him to death, my sister Genesis, and people eventually that I met along the way. You know what I mean? Met this great director who I did a review for. He has his own company called Emotion Films, and he's been a huge supporter also. And I remember, man, within my first month, I had maybe 50 subscribers. You know, within 2-3 months, 1,000, 2,000. Right now I'm up to almost 4,000 views. Not views, subscribers, and that wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for you guys. You know, and I want to thank you guys greatly. And I want to take this opportunity just to say, it's just the beginning. This is just the beginning. And there's a lot of things and a lot of gems I'm about to spit to you. And not because I want to preach or anything like that, but I want you to see I'm just a regular guy from Brooklyn. About to be 35 years old, thank God. You know what I mean? I almost didn't live to see 34, you know? And, you know, married. I have 3 children, 2 which I live with. One's autistic. I have an older son who lives with my previous relationship in another state, who I stay in touch with and still support. And I work a job that actually I love. Obviously, it's not all about the pay. The pay's not that great, but you know, I love working with, you know, mentally disturbed or pretty much developmental, service-based businesses. And you know, I work with 6 incredible men that respect me, and I try to help. You know, in every shift that I work, you know, I was made to help. You know, you got people that love receiving. I wasn't meant that way. I'm not built that way. You know, I get off in giving. I really do. Sometimes I might look ungrateful when I receive something, and it's not the case. It's just, if I want something, I usually get it myself, you know? I don't want to sound cocky or anything like that, but I just rather give, man. Trust me, man. You know, you look at that kid for Christmas and you see them opening their gifts, you're so happy. I'm so happy just watching them open their gifts. That gives me such a high, a natural high, you know? And I'm just gonna start off with telling you, you can't burn what's already lit. Meaning that you can't motivate somebody that's already highly motivated. There's nothing you can possibly do. And I'm that person, you know? To me, you know, motivation from inside was always key. You know, I just didn't know how to go about certain things. And, you know, I'm still young enough to go and pursue them, you know? So, you know, that's one thing. You know, to me, having people, I don't have a tight-knit circle in theory. You know, I was always pretty much a loner. And I've had best friends along the way, and little by little, gone. You know what I mean? The only constant is family, my wife. And, you know, blood makes you related, but loyalty makes you blood, in my mind. You know, your past empowers your future. I always tell myself that, you know what I mean? Your past is the past for a reason. You know, it's something you have to overlook. You know, that's where your experiences come from. That's where your negative exploits come from, and you have to learn from them. And if you didn't learn from them, then obviously you haven't changed as a person. And I believe you change over time. You know, I always thought my life was a movie. You know, growing up, my father, for a short time, because I was abandoned by my mother at a young age. But over the years, you know, obviously, you know, I mended that relationship. You know, I'm not gonna hold a grudge. You know, she had me, you know, as a teenager, and my father was a teenager as well. You know, he busted his ass. He was a part-time DJ and straight hustler. You know, and you know, she had her issues, family issues and stuff like that. You know, and you know, I was unaware of this throughout the years, and then when I actually did speak to her and stuff like that, I had nothing but mercy for my mom. You know, I mean, shit happens at the end of the day. At the end of the day, did I like the actions and stuff like that? No, very fortunate I became who I became. A large part, it was my grandmother, my father, my stepmother, you know, my 3 brothers growing up. and I got to see my sister being raised in what was pretty much a broken home. And I always vowed to myself that wasn't gonna happen with me. After my oldest son, especially, I was like, no, I gotta make sure I settle down and do the right thing. I know you don't see it now as I'm aging, but I was a pretty boy. Growing up, I was, that ladies' man. I couldn't live without girls. That was my weakness, and I learned over the years. And I noticed I wanted love, and obviously you get that from your mother as a kid. I looked all around me, and a lot of my friends, man, my boy Ralph had a good mom. My boy Tim had a good mom. My boy Rigoberto didn't have the best mom, but she was there. Although she ended up doing what my mother did eventually. But I looked at a lot of my friends that had their moms, and I was like, wow, it's unique. My cousin growing up, my god brother, he had his mom, and that lady always had his back for everything. You know what I mean? And I looked to that, and that was something that was missing. It was a void, and I didn't know that it was a void until later on. I knew something was missing, and I was like, damn, what is it? And maybe this is the reason why I continue to look to girl, and I'm not happy. It's because I'm looking for somebody to really hold that and fill that void. So I couldn't find love, and I was young anyways. So I pretty much after high school, I looked for power, not necessarily how can I control people, but how can I find something that's gonna make me happy, meaning work, job, or career in which I can run people. And I got to do that in the pharmacy field. I followed my father's steps. And at the end of the day, life's not all about money. You'll never see a U-Haul in the back of a hearse. Denzel says that, and when he said that, man, it hit home, because it's the truth. The Egyptians, they tried it, right? All died. Try to take their fucking gold with them. You have people dig it right back up, right? At the end of the day, no matter how much money you make, the money that I make now, it's literally not for me, man. It's for my family, and hopefully for generations to come, if I make a really good amount, but that's not my focus. My focus is to leave a legacy, you know what I mean? Me just even recording this video right now, my grandchildren's children are gonna see it and say, yo, that was where we come from. And sometimes you think someone is proud of you, but they're really not. Sometimes they're just actually surprised that you keep making shit happen. They're so intrigued that they stay there. And they're like, damn, I know he has something, but I don't know he could go this far. From my first video making about 50 views, eventually throughout the months, got to 500. Went back down to 3-4 views. I don't really know the algorithm on YouTube, man, but then eventually reaching 1,000, which I got excited for. 2,000, 4,000, 5,000. My videos now, because of you guys, I'm getting 10, 12, 13,000 views with about almost 4,000 subscribers. I think that's awesome, and like I said, you can't enjoy money if people know you have money, because they're gonna be like this, like this. We've seen it, and just watch yourself out there. Whatever you do, make sure you do it for you and your family. Make sure you have a why. My why is my family. My why is making sure my son, who's autistic and pretty much in the mild spectrum, never has to worry about anything in his life because of what I put down now. And like I was saying before, man, I needed love growing up. And obviously, I found movies as a young kid. And man, movies was my escapism. There was just something about that picture quality, about that story, about that plot, about that specific actor, about that specific actress that just drew me closer in to the point where I actually wanted to become an actor at one point. But at the same time, I wanted to be behind the scenes, I just love film. I can't really describe it. I can have a fucked up day, and I go to a movie for about 2 hours or whatever, whatever the time is that movie frame, and I come out as if it was a new day. I swear to God, I don't know what it is. I have a huge argument with my wife, leave, see a movie, come back like nothing happened. And I figured that about myself as I was growing up. If I was guided in that direction younger, who knows where I would have been. I didn't really know how to go about being an actor, a star, or whatever it is, until a little later on. But I'm fortunate that I'm on my way. Sometimes also, this is another nugget for you to know, and another thing why I'm here. Just want to tell you that sometimes you got to leave a person down in the bottom of the sea, in the bottom of the ocean. Sometimes your blessing is waiting, but sometimes the person you're next to isn't meant to receive that blessing. Sometimes you got to make an executive decision and be like, this person may not be the person that I excel with. And you got to come to terms with yourself and be real. It might hurt. Sure, trust me, it will. But after a while, you'll be like, okay, I guess it was easier for that person to actually leave me than it was for me to leave them. So maybe they weren't worth my time. And sometimes people will use your name to get something for themselves who in reality don't even fuck with you. You're like, oh, I know so-and-so, yeah, listen, just to make sure they might be in the same room as you or in the same direction, right? Or around you in the midst, just to be nosy, just to try to fuck up your situation. But you gotta be smart. It slowed me down over the years because I was too nice. I was a people person. I still am for the most part. I love people. There's something about people where, we live in a world where we get all this negativity and all this bullshit, but I still stand for people. I think people are amazing in their different ways, all right? And I think now, at this age now, I'm gonna be 35, transparency is key to me at this time in my life. Lying is not an option. Lying is trash. I used to lie a lot. And not bullshit lies. I used to have these white lies, to satisfy people or to make people think a different way. So that way, I was the kind of guy where I didn't want you to think negative, or I didn't want you to be down on yourself, or I didn't want you to hear about something bad happening. So, within my lie was always truth, but I would kind of sugarcoat things just to make sure that person felt good. And I realized today that it's all bullshit at the end of the day. Just be real with them. If they don't like it, it's life, but you gotta swallow it, just like you have to. As I'm making this video, it's like I'm really talking to myself. This is kind of like a therapy. That's why I love recently just getting in front of the camera and talking my truth and reviewing a film with some of the greatest actors in the world that I admire, just because of that, And if you can't handle the truth, then honestly, you can't be around me. Keeping the truth from you might be what hinders me, even myself from getting to where I'm supposed to be. So, I think that's key. Another key is what I did when I decided to do this Instagram and YouTube thing. Work in silence and let your work make the noise. A lot of people that I knew, that I still know, don't know that I'm on YouTube, don't know that I'm a personality right now on YouTube or even Instagram, because I don't really post. Even on my Instagram, I hardly post any actual pictures of myself or my family. Everything is it's movie based. And, I'm not looking for that light. I'm not. There's a drug out there, a big drug out there, and it's called attention. I'm not doing it for attention. I'm doing this just to be a voice in the movie world, just to save people time. Be like, look, you either see this movie or you don't. I'm gonna give you a nice little preview. I'm gonna give you my opinion. You either take it or leave it. Simple. I feel like I'm providing a service by doing that, right? Maybe you'll agree, maybe you won't, but that's my take. And that's what makes me happy. So at the end of the day, you gotta make yourself happy. Yeah, don't worry about that person to the left or to the right, or on the back of you, or on the front of you, at the end of the day, he's all that matters. Your family. Take care of yourself. Take care of your soul. And for the most part, I remember watching movies. Like I said before, definitely my escapism. Life can be hard. I grew up hard. I grew up with a lot of emotions inside that I still bottle up to this day. But I'm grateful that I found a getaway, which was film. And what makes you happy is extremely vital. A lot of people don't even get to even know what they're really good at in this lifetime. And they stay at a dead-end job, or they do things that doesn't even comfort them, that don't even make them happy, but they just do it because there's a dollar sign attached to it. The biggest thing for me is don't chase and beg for support. Don't hesitate with your actions. Don't think tomorrow's promised because it's not. Reach out to people now and give the people that you feel deserve those flowers, give them to them now. I enjoy watching Nori and DJ EFN on Dream Champs because they're so authentic. They're giving people that they admire their flowers now. And I think we should all do that, especially with our family members. We have grandparents that are up there in age. Although we can't maybe spend as much time as we like with them because we have our own lives, or maybe because we're far, or whatever the case might be, but a phone call. I love you, Grandma. Te quiero, bendición. I think that's important. And make your wants want you at the end of the day, right? You're going to want something, whether it's a female, a male, a piece of jewelry, a piece of clothing, a role, a job, a certain interview, right? And you want that. How about if you reversed it and made that thing want you back? I think life would be so much more easier that way. You're worth it. Your past doesn't determine your future at all. There's a reason they call today the present. And it's because you're the present. Be somebody's gift. You never know what you can do for someone. Not everything costs money. Not everything is monetary. Sometimes just to give your time is it. That means a lot just to hear I love you sometimes, once in a while. Yo, bro, I'm thinking about you. Hey, baby, I'm thinking about you. That shit goes a long way. As men, we hold so much inside because we're supposed to be men, right? People don't know what runs through my head. People don't know. There's a lot of my family that I love to death, but I can't be there for them every day. I can't be for them more than what I have to be for me. So realize that. And remember, some people talk about you because they lost the privilege to talk to you. There's a lot of people that try to reach out to me now, and you fucked up on me before. Why should I even give you the opportunity? You had yours. You had years. I'm gonna continue doing my thing, you continue doing yours. There's no room here for new friends. Unless you're benefiting me, some way, somehow, there's no room for you. And when I mean benefit, I mean, are you providing to my soul? Are you nurturing me in a way where I need to be nurtured? Being around you, is it progressing me? Being around you, is it making me happy? Am I providing a service for you in return? That's a friendship. That's a friendship. Not always about gossiping or talking shit. Or, yo, so-and-so. I hate that with a passion. I hate that with a passion. You want to talk about so-and-so? Yo, let's meet up with them and talk to them in person. Yo, what's up? What you been up to? What you been dealing with? Talk to us. How can we help you? You know what I mean? That's a friend. That's a brother. That's a cousin. That's a father. That's a son. And if you're not willing to do more than you're actually paid for, then you'll never be paid for more than you're doing. I believe that because giving is one of the laws of the universe. You have to willingly give and graciously receive. You have to in this world, and if you think before you give, if you think before you actually give, then you're trading. You're not actually giving. You know what I mean? And anytime someone has decided to walk out my life, you know, I let it happen. Lots of people walked out my life. So this day never came back. I've walked out of people's lives. It is what it is. You know, but have a reason. You know what I mean? Make sure it's not detrimental to you. And, you know, in closing, you know, I didn't mean to preach to you guys, man, but I just wanted to give you a taste of me in general, of Iz. You know what I mean? You guys tune into my reviews, and I greatly appreciate it. But I just wanted to really get into the potatoes and the meat here, and to show you that I'm just a regular person like you, man. I'm just a regular person that loves to speak about movies, loves to talk to people that I don't even know. I can easily make friends, you know? And always remember, a person can either be one of two things. A person could either be a lesson or simply a blessing. You know what I mean? You either in my life for a short time to teach me a life lesson, or you're part of this journey with me for life as you continue to be a blessing for a long time. And those, in my imagination, can only be God-given. You know, if you're here with me, still, it's for a reason. You're about to be blessed in a major way. And I'm not only talking to you, I'm talking to myself. You know what I mean? I want such a blessing where not only me and my immediate family, but my overall family is set for life. To the point where we could just vacation and have a whole resort rented out, just us. That's just, you know, my goals, my imagination, where I see myself 3, 4 to 5 years, you know? And lastly, always remember, man, people think that because you have the same blood, that you have the same destiny. It's not the case. You know? I think it takes just a few of us. And I think in my family, there's a few of us. You have myself. You have a dear cousin of mine, Isaiah, who's upcoming in the reggaeton and rap world. May God bless him. And you have my cousin Serge, who's doing amazing in the NFT space and in the marijuana space. May God bless him as well. May he hit every peak and valley in that field. And I think the three of us were made. And I'm going to include my brother Joel, because I think Joel, he's going to be a part of me forever. So he's going to be set. But for the most part, the three that I just mentioned, I think that we're going to be that stoppage in the gap of our family. We're going to be that starting point where things start to really go up. I thank my grandmother for being such a hard worker. I thank my grandfather for being the patron that he is, the patriarch that helped build us all. Gave us my father, gave me my aunt. Then from there, I trickled down. Serge, Joel, Isaiah, Genesis, Jaden, Ava, Avian. And just want to say again, man, thank you so much for supporting me. You have no idea what it means to me. Love you guys. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You know, we're going through tough times now out there. Just the reality, man. And I hope things change over time. Within 100 years, technology is going to be different. And I just hope that people match that. So, you already know, man. This definitely wasn't a review. I didn't expect to speak for this long. But thank you for everything, and thank you for your continued support. Look forward to rocking with you. I look forward to you guys continuing to rock with me. And we're going to be here. We're going to be here for as long as God wants me to be here. Till the next time. Peace.